Hi everyone. Okay, so we now have a little over 12 hours to go before the much anticipated rematch between erstwhile champion Vishy Anand and reigning champion Magnus Carlsen. It's hard to believe that a year has gone by since Carlsen became champion, but a lot has happened since then. There's a lot of speculation as to how the rematch will unfold, and it will be fascinating to see what happens. Since becoming champion, Carlsen has still had some great tournament results, but there is no denying that the standard of his play has fallen, albeit slightly. This is something that has been noticed in previous champions, including Kasparov and also Fischer, although in an entirely different manner. Sometimes it's referred to as the crown effect. Once the title of world champion is gained, the player in question relaxes and takes their foot off the gas. After all, they've received the highest accolade in the game, and so, in a sense, there's nothing more to play for. Over the past year, Carlsen has played much looser chess and has had some unexpected losses to significantly lower rated players. Nevertheless, his talent is still abundantly clear, and I'm sure that we will see a return to his tight style once the match commences in the morning. Vishy shocked the chess world when he won the candidates, especially as he was close to withdrawing his place from the tournament altogether. The fact that he then went on to win it by a full point was a clear indicator that the Tiger from Madras was down but not out. Vishy followed up that win with a second impressive win at the Bilbao tournament. It could be argued that Anand has experienced the opposite of the crown effect, i.e. that all the pressures that are usually on the world champion, not least of all the world championship cycle, are suddenly gone, and there's a definite shift in the mindset of the player in question. Going into the match, the favourite of course is still Carlsen, who has youth and rating on his side. However, the psychology of the match this time around is completely different. As the champion, Carlsen is on the defensive from the start, in a sense, and this changes things significantly. Vishy will probably be retiring relatively soon, and so he has nothing to lose. Last time he played very careful chess and was ground down by Carlsen in the latter's usual style. One particular noteworthy moment though was Game 9, where Vishy had reached a point where he had to play for a win. As the game progressed, he played very forceful chess, and that win was ever so close, but he let it slip away with a couple of oversights. What that game proved, however, was that Carlsen is not invincible. There are cracks in his armor, and when attacked with force, as we saw also in his games against Caruana in Sinquefield, it's possible for him to go wrong. I for one am hoping that we will see games like this from Vishy at an earlier point in the match, which if nothing else would put pressure onto Carlsen. Realistically speaking, draws are more likely in the early stages, but it will be very interesting to see which openings the players use. It's impossible to guess the preparation that they've done with regards to the opening, but it should be noted that Vishy in particular has done very well with preparation in the past. For example, in his match against Kramnik in 2008, he had an absolute bullseye with the Meron variation of the Queen's Gambit with black, and he won 2 games with the black pieces in the first half of the match. Last time around, in the final press conference against Carlsen, Vishy mourned that he was completely unable to implement his strategy, and he was of course referring to opening preparation amongst other things. Carlsen is notoriously difficult to prepare against because he plays a very wide range of openings, but Vishy and his team have had another full year to analyze Carlsen's play, so there's some chance that they'll be more fortunate with the preparation this time. Although there was some variation when Carlsen had black, he played the Caro-Kann in Game 2, which was completely unexpected. Against e4, he played the Roy Lopez consistently in all the other games that he had black against Vishy opening with e4, he played Royal Pez 3 out of 4 times. And notably, he opted for the Berlin variation, so I think it's fair to predict that Vishy and his team will have done some preparation in that line, although it is of course very deeply analysed already. Conversely, Carlsen and his team may expect exactly that from Vishy's team, and maybe therefore we won't see any Berlins. So it's all of these little nuances to the match that will be very interesting to see unfold. Carlsen for his part really mixed things up in the opening, playing the King's Indian attack in his first 2 games with white, followed by a Queen's Gambit declined, and then 2 games with e4. So of course he will have done some preparation too, and it'll be very interesting to see what his team have come up with as well. Vishy has white in the first game, and as mentioned, I expect him to play aggressively from the start, and so I think that 1 e4 is likely. Almost all pundits are giving Carlsen the best odds to win the match, and they're probably correct, but by no account should we consider the match over already. Vishy may be over 40, but he's an enormously talented player with huge experience, this being his 7th head-to-head contest for the title. His play has always been extremely versatile, and given the chance, he will attack ferociously. As I said, he has nothing to lose this time, and so I think we will see a completely different dynamic going on between the players. Carlsen is famous, amongst other things, for making the game dry and technical, which favours his supreme endgame ability. It's notoriously difficult to get any kind of attacking play against him, but as we have seen in the past, it's not impossible. On a personal level, I'm a huge fan of both players, so rather than hoping for either of them to win, I hope to see a fantastic match with some fantastic chess. And if, for example, Vishy is able to win a game early on, it will really spice things up, so that would be great for the match overall. As an annotator, I guess I still have to make some kind of prediction, so I've decided on a final score of 7-5 to Carlsen, with 2 victories for Anand and 4 to Carlsen. This would mean 6 decisive games, which does sound a bit too high, but I think we can expect a much more direct approach from Vishy. Even if playing aggressively only results in draws, it means that much more pressure is mounted on the opponent, and of course psychology is going to be a huge element in the match. So I'll be watching it on Chess Bomb, and I'll post analysis as soon as I can after each game. So enjoy the match, and I'll be back to you soon. Cheers.